Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. Hush, I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. I've been seeing, oh, I've been seeing your soul. Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. I've been seeing your soul. Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. I've been seeing, oh, I've been seeing your soul. Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know.
All right, what's up, guys? What's happening? Dow, man, Dow is doing some bit. Is on some mission right now. So if you plugged into the CPI session, I mean, you got to be feeling yourself a little bit right now. So, all right, let's get started. All right, here we go. Okay, so successfully, all the conservative targets have been hit, trading into this imbalance. I'm still holding some of my position right now. We're trading very low in this zone over here, just clearing through this imbalance super well. Nasdaq doing the same thing, just already like bleeding into this. Here's where we saw basically the market pump up, little drop, go up again. So typical, this is where you'd see some sort of let's say structure, quote unquote, wise. On the 1 minute, you'd kind of get that sort of movement. This is where, again, you can see some reversals. It's pretty common. The question is whether it's going to be a long lasting, like the intention here is just to lure in more sellers or not. And then from here, the next area where I would take profit would be where we've seen all of this resistance from yesterday's Tokyo high and London high. So as of right now, though, if you were on the CPI stream, you are up at least, you should be up at least a 3R, give or take. I know some of you, this is like the profit area for most of you. So good stuff. But yeah, let me double check the chat real quick. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Can't see anything. Is that right? All right. I see y'all. I'm in the chat. Don't beat me up. Screen capture. Y'all went crazy. That's a calendar. I don't know what calendar that one is, but all right, one sec. Let me make sure I get you guys right here. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, okay. I see why. Interesting. Okay, so 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for blowing up the chat. Now I can see who's active. Okay, cool. So, yo, what's up, everyone? Sene, hello. What's up, Puccini, Carlos, Greg? Did you get your tacos today? A little burrito, maybe? Some people got the whole enchilada, right? 1R, taco time. 2R, you get a burrito. 3R, you get the enchilada. If we get 4R and plus, I mean, it's a full catering. Everyone's eating. Josue, yeah, screen's black. What's up, everyone? Antanas, Arshi. Oh, I see some new names in here. Okay, cool. Good to see you. Giovanni. Hello, everyone. What's up, Seth? He out here posting the sauce, but ain't trying to show us. Nah, don't do me like that. That's crazy. What's up, Harshi? What's popping? Hey, I just wanted to see who's paying attention. I was just trying to see who. I got to get everyone out here. So we're on the same page now. All right, perfect. So, yeah, basically for CPI, guys, for those of you that maybe missed it, the setup that we were looking for was a short on Dow here. Well, it was actually two setups. We had two. The first one missed our entry, and then it did mitigate, so it played out. It reversed nicely, quickly, but nicely. So here we saw NQ reject for like 40 points or so, and then stops. If you would have been in, stops were to break even, but it didn't even really matter. It was right here, so we saw it come into the zone, played off this way, So 45-point move down, and then it went up again. But that played out nicely. It played out perfect. Because what we wanted was we had this zone on Dow Jones. So YM over here, if you remember yesterday, right, it took out this liquidity, filled this imbalance, and then came just melting down. So if we compare based on structure, we hadn't cleared out New York highs yet. So NASDAQ came up to take out the highs. S&P also took out those highs. And then that perfectly lined up once liquidity was captured above New York highs from NASDAQ, from S&P. We had perfect alignment with Dow Jones coming into our entry zone, which was basically where we had resistance, last point of supply prior to the liquidity capture. Right over here, this is where the market loves to kind of come back to. And yeah, this is where we saw the move to the downside. So right now, the next position, in my opinion, would be for the market to work its way down to these levels over here. How about another 60-point, 65-point drop? Yeah. So let me know in the chat. Drop a W. Let me know how much, if you're in profits, how much did you do today? Whether it's in RR, whether it's in dollar amounts, euros, whatever. I want to celebrate you guys for showing up. And it happened right on time because I wasn't able to get onto the stream until like literally a minute before CPI. I wasn't too worried about it because I didn't really have an entry during CPI. I didn't really have anything for you guys. So I figured if we do get up to here, then we were going to be okay anyways. So I ended up playing out. Aiming for the London high. You're right around here? The previous London high? Got it. Had a zone higher on Dow, so I missed it. It happens. Took one contract off at 2R and letting the other one run. Yeah, you collected that 1R, 2RR. Amazing, guys. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit and let's just get a bigger perspective on what's going on here with the market in general. 3R, nice Josue. Up to 2.5R right now. Entry was a bit lower. Isaid with the money signs. That's good. Okay. There's a nice looking letter M on YM. All right. So on the daily. So let's just go top down, right? Let's see what makes sense, what may not make sense here. And this is just August. Like we had crazy bearish drops in August with NQ, right? July 31st, August 1st, it just tanks. So month starts out really bearish and then just starts absolutely ripping. So we get to an understanding basically that the market does not. The intention of the drop was mainly to liquidate the second half of July traders. So we look at the same thing here, and Dow starts to fall a bit more aggressively earlier on, but we see Dow start to rip to the downside on the 28th, then the 29th, then the 30th, 31st. So all week it was just bearish as ever, and ends up closing down here. So super bearish for Dow. It gets below the previous low. You know, the consensus here from retail was it's melting, it's game over, you know, stock market's crashing, etc. I said, look, guys, don't panic. Don't trip. We're rebalancing here, right? We're playing into these previous levels of resistance in the past. The market was inefficient in this zone, so we don't know if this is going to be bearish for sure yet. We got to let the market give us enough context. Let's see what the next couple days looks like. All right, Q in the next couple days. The next couple days, huge move to the upside. Instantly, we recover all of this. So we can tell that there was low demand when the market worked its way down. Great. And then it came right back up. So that's what we saw with August 4th on Monday, last Monday. And then the market got a little choppy. And what we've noticed is that NASDAQ got very bullish, very, very bullish, trading back up to these levels. We haven't seen the market get above the high yet, but we got up there. So naturally, we're seeing Dow kind of struggle more to work its way up. So would I say that this is bearish? No. But would I say that are we as bullish as NASDAQ? Definitely not. So right now the sells are leaning just easier for Dow. Now we can go another level down. So we can go look into let's say the 8 hour. Start to see these candles basically almost per session per se. And here, the difference between NASDAQ and Dow is that when it gets bullish, NQ really runs. And then when it's been bearish, NASDAQ doesn't really hold those lows. It just gets eaten up by the bulls over and over again. Same thing we had going on Friday. Market picks up momentum again. NQ just keeps ripping while Dow is struggling. So kind of two different ways we can look at this. Either we're going to see NQ want to keep pushing down to these levels because we definitely have a huge zone here on NASDAQ still open. This, as of now, depending on how this keeps moving, but this looks like it's looking like a distribution where the market takes out some higher time frame zones to then do some more damage to the downside. So we may have lost momentum here, and then we might keep dropping down. Same thing goes here with Dow Jones. Dow Jones now looks like it's breaking below the low. I'll show you guys here in a second. So we can go down even further. And then now we're pushing towards those lows that we talked about, right? Getting below, playing into the imbalance, getting all into that area. So here we saw the market. It can still go up to these zones, and that I think we can get to eventually. But now we're working on what are the immediate targets? What are the targets for the day? So we have the London low, which was prior to CPI. We have the imbalance that CPI created, which is what we're dropping into right now. So I'll zoom in here. So right now, the next immediate target, in my opinion, and now Dow is trading at a bit more bearish than NQ itself. So seeing this come down to these zones, these are high probability exits now over here. NQ still has a longer way to drop significantly. Here's where we may run into some traffic. So this, you see how you see resistance here? Sometimes in the middle of an imbalance, the market might want to play right out of there. So could get that too. What I will say is if you're still holding shorts, I think it's a good time to move your stop into some good profits. Like get your stop into a 1R, even more probably at this point in time, based on the way that it's moving. So I'm sure some of you, maybe you're not in this trade and you're like, all right, well, is there a chance we can get into something else? right? Like, because there's more opportunity. Like, let me get in this thing. So from here, we saw NQ and YM accumulate. We saw the way in which it was moving sideways. Asian session built up liquidity. During London, we saw before London, towards the end of Asian session, super aggressive sell-offs here. Market bounced back, sold off again, really big push down, and then this ends up making that Tokyo low. So you saw NQ push down a bit more. We bounce back up. We get the liquidity here, and then we get one last move down. So here, this is what I would consider, and maybe some of you were trading before CPI, but we saw the market basically push down, come right back up, trading up here. So I like the buys over here. These are pretty good buys. If you guys were trading and you were up like earlier, then you could have seen the sell-off here playing into this zone. So this looked clean in here. Solid. And you saw divergence, so you can tell like, oh, okay, YM was dropping faster and Q was a little slower to get into the zone. So the longs on NQ were solid. Now comes the next question, which is there another opportunity like this available? So look at how the market created support over here. Same thing, you can go look at some support on Dow. Saw a little bit of support here. You see some more movement over here. And then the market drops right into this area. So you see it sell off. Same thing. So you see a nice sell off here. So we can zoom in a little bit more. You see it take out the low, come back up, drop again one last time here. Here's where we saw divergence. NASDAQ went and made a higher low. Dow made a lower low. And then making its move. I don't love what we're getting here right now. How we came below this, and then we actually are struggling to stay above it. So we might not keep pushing down, to be honest. Maybe not until later. So I don't know. Market looks good over here. I like what we're seeing. I think profits wise, taking your profits over here is still over a 3R. So I'm just considering the fact that we get below this low, and then as soon as we get below here, we kind of come right back up. So it looks like it's kind of losing momentum. Looks like the intention here was maybe to just take out the low. Not enough proof yet. We'll see. I'm still holding my short. My stop is at like a 1.5R in profit. So we'll get back to that. But now, basically, what I wanted to show you guys was, can we get a buy position here somewhere? And we see Dow clear the lows before making its move. Same thing with NAS. So I think NASDAQ gets us our move to the downside here. And then we see another final push to the downside there before it rips. So it's going to depend on how we work our way down. Which out of whether it's NQ or Dow, are we going to get down to these levels? But I do think, especially with this imbalance right here, I think we're in the zone where whether it's here or here, we could start to see some sells. So closing out this sell-off, similar scenario on this side. I am leaning more towards buying NQ, but I guess we'll just have to see if or when the market makes its move to the downside. And then if we take a look at S&P as well, S&P similar, clears the lows, clears out Tokyo lows too, then makes that run up. So you can see NQ and like just, between the indices, it has a very similar approach. The downside is just how fast we came up and back down. Either way, we still broke these highs, and we've been trading above these highs for the last hour or so. We're 1 minute away from New York Open, so either the market picks up momentum and we immediately drop down, or we see a recovery here. Now, here's another take, though. If the market does, let's say the market does go flying back up, is there a qualified short? I would say yes. If we start flying back to the upside, whichever one is kind of slower to the way up, that's a selling opportunity, in my opinion. So let's see. We are seconds away. Seconds away from New York Open. It looks like it just keeps losing momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised if we fly up. Let's see it. Yep, there it goes. Back up it goes. And it looks like NQ is going to be the one that's slower to the way up. So over here, since this is where we saw NASDAQ take out liquidity, I like the opportunity for a short on NQ around here. Let's see if we can get up there. All right, so let's see if we get it or not. So Dow pumped up and then lost some momentum right away. Came right back down. Let's see if we are we going to just melt through? And then that was it. All I wanted to do was rebalance and then make its move. If that's the case, then this could just go straight back down to the entry. Looks like now NQ starting to push up a little bit higher. Otherwise, let's see. And again, I'm keeping multiple things in mind here, but I would be looking for a short basically out of this range. Here was that last pump before everything dropped. There goes NQ. Okay, so NQ, whoa, NQ making the move. Dow lagging behind. Based on the way that this is moving, we might end up having Dow Jones give us the opportunity for the buy here. And then the sell, definitely not looking to take that with Dow. It's way up here already. So, all right. So I took partials here, and then I got stop profited out right over here. So overall, about a 3R on this. Wasn't able to ride it out into the sunset. Didn't get that price action, but not the end of the world, because I do think, based on how this is moving along, I think we're going to get this short over here. Let's take a quick look at S&P. S&P moving to the upside slowly. NQ drops, clears liquidity here where we had buyer's liquidity. Clears those lows, comes right back up. All right. For me, this is enough. This is definitely enough structure for us to look for a short up here. And the reason being, we already took out New York highs. So this is like a very major liquidity level. And then once it did that, we took out retail sellers, lured in retail buyers, market drops in. So from here, once we pulled back down, I think we have a lot of buyers in this zone. One, we have the pump here, so there's a sweep to the upside. So I think we can mitigate that and then see a drop in this area. So we're getting pretty close here now. Trade maybe right up into here and then see a short. And that would be closing out this buy right there. This pump right there. See a drop. And then from here, so you see how we swept the low and then got higher? If we mitigate here and we quickly come right back down, then I'm not too worried about the sell-off. But if we come up to here and then we struggle to work our way down, then it would be an exit, like basically inside of this. So, all right, I'm selling. Yeah, I'm in shorts here. All right. So, and honestly, both end up playing out pretty decent. So, funny enough, if we look at this, YM over here got up to between that 786 and 886, and Q between that 618 and 786. My stop is above here, so my trade is like this right now. And if we aggressively drop off, then I'm not too worried about this. If we don't, and we just stay trading up here, then I'm going to take probably something closer to like a 1.5. Not my favorite RR, but it's just going to depend on how aggressively. Because if we just keep staying trading above here, then it's going to confirm, okay, this is just bullish on the 1 minute. But if we come right back down, then we'll get better confirmation. All right, so right now, cool. NQ making its move down. Seeing a nice drop. The move to the upside was about 40 points. So ideally, we can see this thing drop. Yeah, something like that, like some 40 points or so. So let's see if we work our way down to here. All right, so stop was about 30 points. So right now, we're up at least a 1 RR. Look at the difference between YM and NQ. So very, very nice drop up to the zone. 37-point move to the downside. The move to the upside was about 40. This is one of those where like it doesn't perfectly mitigate, but I mean we saw a huge move just go down. So moving your stop, I'd say, is not the worst idea. We didn't quite make it to the exact same amount of points, which is just my rule. But we get pretty close. Decisions. I'm going to give this a chance to just trade. I'm not going to move anything yet. I wonder if Dow is going to clear the New York highs first. So I wonder if this is the current target. These were New York highs from yesterday. right, I'm gonna give it a shot. But what I don't like, honestly, now I guess it wouldn't even been worth it, and here's why: because if we come down right back up, then this is kind of giving this zone more validity in general. So honestly, yeah, should have just taken the break even. I guess we still could. This would have to just melt right away because the thing is, this clears out the liquidity that was built up and then makes a run for it. We basically mitigated fully here. The only thing that is, I guess, slightly positive is that it's not moving as bullish as Dow here. But either way, like the rejection that we already saw, which was 37 points, borderline what we had seen here. So, yeah, in these scenarios, when you get something like this and you're kind of uncertain, well, what is the best probability idea? The best probability idea is just to, go break even, take your money, call it a day. That's at least my perspective. We got pretty close, so yeah, I think if you want to just, whether it's take a little bit of profits now or call it break even, I don't think that's a terrible idea with everything being considered. That's what I'm doing. So I'm closing this trade out. Don't love the way that we came down and right back up, not giving me the most, just not my favorite type of price action. And plus we already went pretty aggressive. So I'm going to consider this one a break even trade. I'm going to call this one. Basically, that's a wrap on that trade. And we got a good reversal, but that's all it was. I'm curious to see if Dow clears liquidity and where that leaves NQ. Maybe things look better later, maybe not. But the new fact is this. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So here's what I do see that's interesting. This right here. We see the sweep of the low to kick off New York Open. So that gets... This sweeps here. Takes out retail. So anyone that was buying from here, from basically right after New York Open on the dip. So that was building up, and then the market ran. If we look at Dow, that was kind of pretty similar. Dow gave us lows here, sweeps below, chops up, moves on up. So this is building more of a case, at least in my opinion, for NQ to keep rallying. And then we could get a opportunity here because this right at New York Open, the minute after, sells off and then runs. So all of this gave us was best case was like about a 1-to-1. Pretty mid. I'd rather tackle on the buy because now we've been trading above that shift after it swept for the last 10, 12 minutes, 13 minutes or so. So, yeah. So this was a break-even trade. Let's see if we end up coming back to here. Question for you guys is, how did you guys tackle this one on? What was the approach, the outcome on this trade? Are you guys still holding the sells? Are you hoping it gets back down? And we just saw, look at this. We're starting to see Dow push a little bit lower. Not at the same pace that we're seeing NQ here. NQ is not really dropping the same way. I wasn't convinced on these ideas, so I'm staying out of this one. I'm not in shorts anymore. I have flipped my bias over. Dow moving nice. Look at that. If you are holding, looks good for you. All right, so right in there. Dang. So, all right, I just got triggered in. Playing out of this nicely. This already actually, I think, mitigated too. So it was an instant mitigation. Look at this. Instantly. So this sold off like this, 40, 35 points, pumped up right away. So this is moving at extreme speeds right now. My stop now is at this low. We see, looks like, look at this, Dow cleared this liquidity again, then running. So again, showing us low demand, at least as of right now. It's kind of struggling to stay in there. Since this already mitigated here, from here to here, my stop is now right there. My entry is like right here. So this took out the low, came right back up, consolidating. All right, pushing up a little more. Looks like this sweep to the downside on YM was just another liquidity capture for buyers. Dow pushing decent, and Q, there we go, running. That puts me at now break even. All right, did anyone happen to have the speed to get into, to be ready for this buy? Now from here, it looks to me like the next targets for Dow would be taking out New York high, taking out this liquidity, and then going upwards to here. All right. So I just got tagged out break even on NQ, unfortunately. And then YM. All right. We got a busy morning, man. There's a lot going on. So YM sweeps below the low. Comes flying right back up after just a few minutes. Now we're seeing it come right back down. So here's a matter of, do you look for longs again? Do you stay out of the market? Is this enough to show us that we're bullish or not? Not really. So ironically, the shorts, as we originally had, those were the ones. So we got mitigation here. The market went into some drawdown before continuing down. So the original short that I had, this one would have played out. But nothing to do there. Honestly, like, because of the way that it borderline mitigated, I'm not tripping too much about this. Yeah, not something I'm too concerned about. So not a big deal in my opinion. Right now we're seeing Dow hold up pretty well. Its structure, it looks like this could be a good level for demand. I mean, you've seen so much support here. And then we're seeing a flip in structure again. So NQ making lower lows, basically playing out of these levels over here. Resistance, imbalance is becoming very efficient. We're seeing the market just kind of eat this up over here. So now that it's in the imbalance, I think there's a good chance we see Dow run from here. The move down and up, we don't get the most time over here. So that doesn't give us the most proof that we're going to keep running. The fact that we went below and we didn't stay down there is great. And then that we flew right back up, okay, that looked good. But the fact that it lost momentum when it was getting down to here, that we didn't get more bullishness, that is a little concerning. But it's holding this down really well. And now we've seen NASDAQ officially get to these levels. Resistance. Now this is typical place for a pretty good reversal, especially considering S&P has done the same thing. So with a few different confirmations from NASDAQ and S&P, I do like the longs on Dow. Okay. So, and I know this is not our usual type of session where I usually don't have this many trades this fast at this rhythm, but I did just take the buy. Like I said, I like the longs on Dow now. So now that we have rebalanced CPI with NQ, with ES, the fact that we saw low demand here, the market come up and back down. Normally, I wouldn't have taken this trade on its own, but because of how efficient NQ and ES are, that's why I went ahead and took my position here. All right, let's see how this looks. Look at that. All right. Pushing nicely. See how we picked up a ton of momentum? Moving my stop to this low now. So now I'm moving from here to here. Like that. So yeah, as you're noticing, it's like a game of chess. I'm putting all the pieces of multiple boards. It's like different chess games at the same time. And from here, yeah, not only do I think we take out New York highs, I think we go for the liquidity that we have from over here. So this liquidity is where I'm targeting right now. This was from Sunday. So the week, the high of the week, basically, which is right over here. Did anyone have the reaction time to get into Dow? Now, there's nothing really I can do about movements that just happen that fast and adapting to it. Like, yeah, with experience, you know, you learn how to respond to certain situations. But, yeah, I mean, interesting. We had the short on YM originally. Then we had a short on NQ. I went out break even. I know maybe some of you caught it. And then flipped back to the long on YM after we had new evidence, new proof. Market were completely efficient. Dow was holding up the shakeout pretty well, and that's what led to staying in the trade. Right now, this trade is running for me about 2.25 R, and I'm at a risk-free at this moment. I'm gonna go into the chat and see what's up with you guys. How are you doing? What's up, Kevo? Yeah, it was flipping back and forth. It was wild. Sells on NQ again. I'm not gonna sell NQ, at least not right now. I'm focused on this. Yeah, so clearing the New York highs and then going towards liquidity that's my first target. So the New York, so going for these highs over here for sure. And then liquidity up in this level. That's where I'm looking to play into. These are the weekly highs. So CPI, post CPI clearing weekly highs isn't like unusual. Now, Corey, you're asking about shorts. So where are you looking to short? Because yes, obviously we dump from here. You know, we get a pretty nice drop. If we keep trading down here, so let's say NQ just like doesn't rip the same way Dow has, which is totally possible. But let's say that's the case, then like right now you're seeing it drop again. So let's say we just keep trading down here. Then maybe this could be a decent short because we do see some sideways movement, it builds up liquidity, goes to the upside, and then it tanks. So sure, there's definitely a chance. I want to see whether something like this is going to stay or not. So possibly might be looking at something here. This is not for sure for me yet, so I'm not even going to draw it out because I know people are quick to just start pressing buttons. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, the NQ short could have given us quite a bit more. It would have been another 3R trade back-to-back, fully rebalanced CPI. So that would have put us at like a 6R so far. And then it would have been ultimate ping pong. The short, another short, the buy. Pretty wild. So right now, my Dow buy is at a risk-free position. It doesn't look like this wants to hold these highs. I'm going to be honest with you. The way it came up and then right back down. Nope. Dow may want to, maybe, right? Dow may want to. So right now I'm risk-free, just by the way. Didn't take anything out. This would have been a very great exit. Conservative 2R right off the order block. Could have been pretty nice. Now, what does give me more, what's the word I'm looking for? Conviction on this play is that we're still getting lower lows on NQ and Dow is I mean, still way up in this range. So the divergence is pretty, like, Dow is trading over here, basically. If we were to compare it to where NQ is, Dow is trading way up here. So despite all of that, like, we're still holding pretty well. NASDAQ here now below CPI. So any buyers for that had CPI, let's say CPI buys, and then they had their stops below the entry, getting tagged out. For S still holding it decent within the structure. So not too bad. But that the divergence is really impressive, to be honest. The fact that Dow is still pushing despite NQ dropping. So to your point, Corey, looking for NQ shorts later, it looks like that could be a valid idea. For sure. Like we start pumping up from here, chopping up, and then we start to work our way down. Yeah. I could see it later on in the day. Could see a short right over here. Let's see what happens. Now we've seen NQ get all the way down to the London lows, rebalancing the zone, playing out of where it sold off before it rips. So here was a huge liquidity sweep. So I'm curious. I wonder if we play out of this zone and then this gives Dow the rest of the momentum it needs to keep going higher. Because remember when in the beginning of this session, we were looking at just the big picture, right? We were looking at the big picture with NQ and we were looking at the big picture with Dow. So remember this, right? Let's go over here. Let's take this off. What did we talk about? We said Dow is trading very on the higher time frames. It's trading substantially lower than NQ, right? NQ here was making higher highs since last week. So we saw all of this, just huge bullish movement on NQ. Meanwhile, Dow, so here we go, right? Side by side. Dow is trading or traded all the way up to here. So we traded very bullish, traded all the way up into the zone, way over here. Market got really efficient and then mitigated. Whereas Dow is nowhere near this. Dow is trading way over here. So there's a massive divergence on the higher time frames. So eventually, these kind of even out. So I think what we could see is we may be seeing for the rest of the week, the market just keep pushing towards the upside to kind of catch up to where NASDAQ has been trading. So Dow being the bull, whether for today or for the next couple of days, makes a lot of sense. I'm going to zoom in here real quick because we are getting to important levels. Dow has officially cleared the highs of London highs. Here, or New York highs, I guess. These are technically London highs. But anyways, it's clearing these highs. So we're getting above yesterday's New York high, and then we're pursuing the liquidity that I was talking to you guys about earlier. At the same time, we saw NASDAQ effectively mitigate the low from London. So this is ripping right now. Our trade is sitting at right around a 5R, approaching the liquidity capture. So, yeah, good stuff. Boom. TP smacked. And honestly, I think this thing's going to keep on pushing. But if you want to lock in some good gains, definitely do so. I'm going to take my profits. Man, that puts us at about an 8R on the, that puts me at least at an 8R on the day. Anyone take the buys? I know they were fast, guys. These were like high pace, reactive reaction sessions. They were quick, super fast. And I mean, I try to, narrate as quickly as I can. Usually we don't get setups that have to adapt so fucking fast. But yeah. Can you explain the Dow buys? Mike is eating all you can eat Wagyu beef today. How did you end up 8R and I ended up 0R? Well, CPI. So the Zoom for CPI, we caught the short, right? So we can walk through these. I do think we can go higher, especially considering NQ, I think, will end up climbing for the rest of the day. So I honestly think I cut myself a little short on Dow. I think I could have let this one run a lot longer. But I'm okay with that. Like, we had more than enough for the day. But let's see where this is going to go. Right now, it's sitting at a 6.38. I took mine right here. Yeah. Okay, so just for clarity, I'm not going to be selling anything Dow related today. I don't see that happening. And then even this NQ that you were talking about, Corey, even this is like a move to the upside a bit. It takes out some highs and then drops. I might not even short that either, but we'll see. Funny enough, had we held the NQ, so here's what the max we could have done today, based on the ideas. Max we could have done. We had the NQ. The first NQ short went 1R, which was this one here. This would have gone 1R. Didn't tag us in, so this was deleted because it mitigated. So that's 0. Nothing there. Then YM short. So let's go to YM. YM here was mitigating this move here. So we saw a sweep to the upside, clears liquidity, rebalances. So that was that short. This one gave us a little over 100 points. That's what I ended up collecting. So on the short here was, I didn't get a 4R. I got less than that. I got collectively like a 3R. So that was this trade. From there, attempted the short on NQ, the shakeout. Once it almost mitigated, it was a little short of it, and then it came back. I wasn't loving the price action, so I took out break even. If I were to follow the plan to a T, so technically this was, because it was so close, I gave myself the discretion to just get out. But had we held, then the trade would have this pushed all the way down to a 4.8R, a 5R actually, 5R to a T. I wouldn't have held that though. The target was here, so it would have been another 3R. So that would have been 6, and then we had the 5.5R here, which would have been 11.5R had everything played out perfectly. Obviously, that's not the case. So 8.5R actually on the day. Yeah, I had to respond quick, and also I have my contracts and down like pretty solid at this point, memorized. So I'm able to just throw a pretty decent, and I'm usually slightly under leveraged anyways. Yeah, like I said, guys, this thing is still ripping. Nice. Okay, let me read the chat. GM, Lil Broski, what's good? Yo, shout out Kevo, bro. That dude's been going crazy. I held NQ. Nice, Karen. That's on good reaction time. Appreciate you, Vaughn. Cool as fuck watching and listening to you, even if I haven't got anything but a break even so far. LMAO. This was a special New York session. Took the NAS. Nice. Well done. Very grateful for your streams in the school. Hey, glad to have it. And I'm just happy you guys are taking advantage. Like, there's so much sauce. There's so much stuff in here. Like, if y'all just dive into this, you got the playbook, you have the PDF, you have the Trader's Manifesto. If you guys haven't dove into here yet, they're walking you through paradigms. And this is all the free stuff. It's not even the paid stuff. You have the playbook here, walks you through how to build a system, the difference between retail and smart money, some psychology, value disappointment, the whole PDF. It's like 40 pages. We're trading live basically every day. I mean, if you're in the syndicate, you're just at a different level. It's not even like if you like all the free stuff, I mean, shit. Okay. Anyways, let's bring the emotion back to a neutral state from both sides. So right now, listen, all right, guys, don't go crazy right now. Right now, if you had a winning day, you may be feeling really good. You may be feeling there's like an invincibility complex. Cool. Don't worry about none of that. You traded your game. That's why you made money. It's not that you're the shit. It's not that I'm the shit. That's not the case. We're just, the probabilities were in our favor today. Remember, there's also those days where like you feel like you can't catch a break. So let's appreciate what we got, but let's not get too high, right? Let's not get too high on our pedestal here. So we're not here to trade, overtrade. Wait for the right setups again. Now, if you didn't get anything from the market today, or you didn't get as much as you wanted, so if you're on the other side, the FOMO, or you lost some trades today, okay, then you don't have to throw yourself at the market right away or anything like that. That's also not what you want to do in this sort of environment. It's not really what we're here for. Don't go trading your emotions. Just because you maybe didn't have the same interpretation or reactive time that I did or somebody else did, all right, it doesn't mean that now you should be in the market trying to make up for it. You're never making up for anything. All it is that we're just waiting for quality. And that's it. You wait for quality. Otherwise, there's nothing really to do here. So right now, the liquidity was swept here on NQ. So let's just get more context on this. There's a big pump up here where I think we could short from, but I'm not going to look to short NQ or Dow because NQ is just way, way more bearish today. So for the day, I would only look to have buy positions on Dow. Let's say we get later on in the day, second half of the day, we'd get into, maybe we get some pullbacks, then cool. Could find, for example, that huge sell-off that we got here. Somewhere over here. We could get something in here, but a huge sell-off. There's an imbalance in there, so maybe we'd get this. You know what? I never play with this here, the layouts thing, so I probably should. I need to have one. I noticed this where I think my boy Tom does this really well. He has like one layout where it's like all of the setups that he takes are marked up, and then the other one that's just like the analysis. So to keep this very clean, I should probably do that. So we'll call this like, hold on, rename. So trades, and then let's see if I can get another layout going. Create new layout. Just let's see. Analysis. All right. So let me see if I delete stuff, what this looks like. I just want to confirm that I can just delete stuff here, but the other one is going to have it. You have unsaved changes. Hold on. Let's save this. Save. Auto save. Okay. It doesn't do that. The fuck? What's the point of this shit then? All right, whatever. I'll figure that out later. Let's see. Let me just undo a couple things here. Lame. Whatever. I know what charts. I know what we traded today, so not a big deal. Now, why is volume here? Weird. Okay. So, indices running NQ with the possibility of shorting later over here. I still don't even like selling anyways, just because, yes, we got below these lows for maybe like 20 minutes. Like, clearly when we drop under here, the intention is it's not for sells. So I think I'm going to stay out from shorting anything today. I'm going to chill on that. The other things that we have going on for today is relating to the majors. So I haven't really been trading anything dollar related outside of indices. The pound came up to this zone, but the pound's been the most bullish, so I'm not going to short what's the raging bull. And then, you guys noticed we had some longs here. So, for example, the market cleared liquidity here on CAD futures, USD CAD, Euro still pushing higher. The yen, this is the one that I'm interested in selling. We saw a nice pump up here going into London. So, get this one up here. All right. So, yeah, we saw these highs over here. And we're nowhere near this still. So I think we can get back over here and see a nice short. I have an alert here. And then we have 6N that doesn't do anything similar to this at all. And then we have the Swiss franc. So this got really close already. Actually, it got to the zone right there. Looks like it played it right out of it and then dropped. So for those of you that were showing me your charts yesterday, or 2 days ago, yeah, it was yesterday, and you wanted to buy the franc, I mean, it played out for you. Not my setup. Well, it's my setup except for the confirmation, which is the divergence between the correlated pairs. So since everything else, so this was the most bearish, I wasn't looking to buy this. It did play out. So if you traded right out of the open, basically, it looks like you would have had, let's see here. Best case, 1.6R. Maybe if you had your stop a little tighter, a little more. With the perfect exit. But anyways, not my entry style. Because everything else was way more bullish. There's so many of these other dollar-based assets that can still get to down to that level, like all of them. So yeah, I wasn't looking to force that, but yeah, the setup right now, the yen for sure. So this is the one that I'm gonna be following up with first, like most definitely. So let me drop a post here. Tradetopia pending trades. And then we have, what's the date today? August 12th, 2025. All right, so 6J, aka the yen. And then I think it's saved it there. All right, here we go. So we got it there. This one we can wait for. Then that takes us to some metals. Gold still dipping. Trading into the imbalance now. Very bearish. Silver holding up much better. I'm not quite sold on silver buys. We already had the mitigation here, so nothing new on silver. I wouldn't add to anything. It looks like if we were to get a play on silver, it would be somewhere over here. So I'll send this one out when we're closer, because I do want to see. Nah, yeah, this one makes more sense for sure. You guys see the big sweep down here. This is from Sunday, August 3rd. So about 10 days ago, 9 days ago. Low push down, market rips. Off it goes. Rebalances here. Yeah, this looks good. You have some support over here, some more over here. So entries in this area look solid. Then it's about the exit. Right now, let's say this is the major like reversal point. Looks like this could be a good exit, 2.7R. Silver. Get a chart going here. Okay. All right, second setup added there. And then let's see. I still haven't been trading oil. Nothing for me here. I know some of you have been looking for selling. I just see a ton of liquidity. Tons of sideways movement. This actually clears these highs. So maybe a oil short from here. Okay, I can see that. Right there. Thank you. So here's the thing. Remember, you want to go from higher to lower. So your squeeze is within consolidation. So this isn't the best because we're inside of a range. So you're trading within the range. So I would be on point with my trade management with a trade like this. Hopefully you guys that survived, I think those of you that traded the peso on CFDs, I'm hoping that you were able to take some profits here somewhere. And then where does that leave us with crypto today? We saw after yesterday's move, right, huge drop. So not a lot of demand when we got up to this level. We saw Bitcoin pump up to here, came right back down, and it's been trading down here. So I'm gonna let you guys answer this question. What do we think happens with Bitcoin here? What do we think happens with Bitcoin here? Let me check out the chat. It's free. It's free. Sylvanus. Yeah, you can join the community for free. To join the syndicate, which is the 1-year program, that book a call, and then depending on how active you are in the free community, you can actually earn credits so that you get you can earn multiple credits. They're $500 each that you can apply towards the program. That way, you get a pretty fat. You earn your way in, and you get quite a bit off. And that's kind of the point. You know, the point of it is like for you guys to actually, one, get more experience, be more advanced. Two, it's for me to see that you're actually going to take it serious, because to be honest, if you're just here for the hype, then I don't want to waste my time, and I don't want to waste your time. So it's kind of like you kind of have to you definitely have to earn your way into the syndicate, and it just shows the quality that we have, because everyone in the syndicate, like, they're not just dabbling. Like, they're here to make this a profession. They're here to make this a high income. So yeah, definitely go ahead and lock in with the free community. Soak up all of the different courses. They're all as much as you can. And then once you're ready and you want more hands-on work, the deep work on the psychology side, the system side, the technical side, and the financial side, then apply. Nice. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Got you, Daniel. Bro, you've been on so much. You've been so consistent for like the whole year. So shout out to you, man. Yeah, okay. So my thoughts are, I think we're going to see Bitcoin shake out. So I do think we get basically into this order block, and then we go down again. How far down, we'll see. But the thing is this, despite Bitcoin doing something like this, it's losing a ton of dominance. So when we see Bitcoin dominance just continue to go down, you see what happens, like what we saw right now, where Bitcoin's kind of struggling to go up. It does go up, but not too much. But ETH is making higher highs. Like ETH is at 4,400 right now. ETH is at the highs of the last couple of years, right? We're now approaching the December 2021 price action. So we saw all-time highs on Bitcoin happen last year, and all-time highs on ETH seem relatively inevitable here. Looks like that 5K and beyond. And honestly, it can go pretty crazy. R-Sheet, no, I'm not going to short Dow. I'm not looking to short Dow Jones. Dow is pushing right now. Wow. I really could have held this bad boy. I left 150 points on the table. So looking at price action right now in general, if you look at Bitcoin, when it goes up a little bit. ETH ripping. Dog here. Yeah, alts in general are just pushing stronger relative to Bitcoin. So you're seeing, this is why when you look at Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin is losing market share over the total market cap on crypto. And it looks like this should keep happening. Let's see some of the winners of the day. I'm going to wrap up here in a second, guys. So, let's see. Wait. Keycat doing its thing. Damn, this thing pumps and dumps. Ski. Let's go. The meme coin bags are finally going. Chainlink, dude. Wow. Let's go. Meme coins doing their thing. ETH is on pace, outperforming some meme coins right now. Ondo, Jup, Injected. So, alts in general doing pretty good. So, for whatever reason, Bonk is not But Bunk is one of those that it can just wake up and then it's just up 30%. And then stocks wise, let's see what we're looking at here on the day. All right, Delta still ripping. Anyone holding Delta from our buys from a couple months back? Etsy doing its thing, another 5%. RPD, what was this? I don't even remember this. That's not good. I don't think I have this yet. What is this? RPD. Why can't I remember this? This came just short of my entry, I think, right here. What is RPD? Why is this on my list? Rapid 7. Anybody know this one? Anyways, yeah, that's up. I don't remember what it is. Celsius, only a couple dollars away from exit. Intel pushing a little bit higher today as well. You like to see that? Okay, let's see where we're at. ENPH, more steady growth. Nothing too crazy. And then let's see where we're at. Let's go. Webull, another 3% on the day. Yesterday started bullish and then ended up pulling back. So it's kind of fighting for these 16 levels. All right, anyways, so stocks, nothing too crazy. A couple good ones, but nothing new really there. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there, guys. Great session. I mean, we saw Dow, we shorted, we bought, NQ, shorted, break even. Some of you caught this short. Some of you maybe even caught this setup. I wasn't going to take the buy out of this London low because I was already in the Dow buy. I didn't feel like adding more exposure didn't really make sense. Now, for those of you looking to, you were asking about whether shorting NQ made sense. I mean, I'm not going to. I think the idea is a little, it clears some of this resistance here and then drops, and you do have lower lows, but it's not a massive move, nor is there tons of volume. So I'm okay with just not being involved. Hell of a morning, absolutely. Greg, you got Delta still? Oh, yeah, I think I remember you scooping up some Delta. Yeah, they're posted in the school, all the charts. So if you're not in the community right now, then let me go ahead and I'll send you the link. I probably should have done this earlier. But yeah, free community, guys. And then if you want to basically be in a hyperbolic time chamber and level up 1,000 times faster, then apply to the syndicate. I mean, y'all just saw it happen real time, over and over and over again. So quit playing games, y'all. All right, guys, much love. Appreciate y'all for hopping on. You'll see a couple things here on the screen. So if y'all want to rock the trader's uniform, scan that QR code if you guys want to go to Colombia with us, trade together, explore Cartagena. Check it out. It's on that link as well. And if you are interested in joining the syndicate, then as always, book a call just to see if it makes sense for you or not. It's not even to just lock in, but let's see if it even makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. So links are in there. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Peace.
On your corazón, mi corazón.
E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare.
¿Qué horas son, mi corazón?
E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare.
¿Qué horas son, mi corazón?
E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare.
¿Qué horas son, mi corazón?
E si riempiono gli occhi con le onde del mare. Ogni volta che va male ne dobbiamo parlare.
¿Qué horas son, mi corazón?
I